Everybody knew everybody's business, what was going on. And that's what was so cool about it because, and here's another issue that, you know, I wish I'd have known because I would have probably done things differently or not got into it and idolized it so much is because as a young kid, like my grandparents were pretty well off and we lived like on a couple of roads that were like all rich people, like lawyers, you know, like doctors and everything else. My grandparents did. So the next door neighbors was a big time lawyer in town that like represented all of them. And I remember, and they said he was involved as a young man. And I remember him having like a Lamborghini back in like 87, 88, ripping donuts in front of, you know, the house in the main street and stuff back in those days. And they would have huge parties over there. Like it was out of control. And I just remember being like 6 years old at the time, like seeing this stuff. So, but I didn't hear and understand like in the 80s, I don't know if you know, you probably heard stories, but all the way up to like 86, you know, somebody would get busted or something would come down and they would just be like, hey, we'll pay you $1 million to go turn yourself in, take the hit because they get what, 5 years for 20, 30, 50, 100 kilos. It didn't matter. They get like 3 to 5 years back in those days.
And you could parole out of the feds too.
So, you know, people were like, okay, I'll take $1 million, shut my mouth and we'll give you a job as soon as you get out. You know, so, you know, I didn't hear none of this stuff. So here I'm a young man idolizing this and like watching all the movies, you know, movie Blow when it came out, Cocaine Cowboys, the whole thing, everything else. So, you know, it's just like, it was my life hearing all the stories when I was a kid. So I didn't realize they changed the laws and they figured out how to get everybody to cooperate. You know, when you're looking at 30 years, everybody does. So I didn't realize that's how they were getting everybody in my hometown and how they shut the whole thing down.